Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pot Smoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Pot Smoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament of the Hebrew Bible. I use the King James Version of the Christian Bible to put together the prophecy of Israel from the scattered testimony of the various prophets of the Old Testament. In order to publish the Book of Zion, I had to write the Pot Smoker's Bible because the Book of Zion is written entirely in Bible verse. And today I thought, since it is the last day of Trump's presidency, which is a very profound moment in prophecy, I thought that I would take this moment to do a kind of overview of what the prophecy of Israel is and what is projected to happen, what has already happened, where we are now, and where we're going. Because today is that pivotal moment when we go from the old society to the creation of the new society. This is that pivotal moment where everything changes. Now, the prophecy says that a woman who is barren, who sings, who has a very shameful youth, who is ridiculed because of her mourning of a past love, uh, stands up to champion the cause of an oppressed and poor people at a time when the world is descending into chaos. She is the foretold prophet of Israel, and the true prophetic Messiah of prophecy is said to be her childhood sweetheart. He is the chosen one because he is chosen for her by her God. And she is a very depressed person. She cries, she travails, she wallows in self pity, and she suffers from post traumatic stress syndrome. And she gives herself to her God to serve that God faithfully all the days of her life. And through her years of travail, her God teaches her the truth. And when she stops travailing, she seeks truth in the name of her God. And she is shown the truth through the prophecy that is foretold in her name about her and what she is to do in order to fulfill the prophecy. And namely, this is, she stands alone as the daughter of her people, the daughter of Zion. And she must establish herself in judgment, in concerns of the use of a dried up form of a plant that is smoked. And she is required to establish herself in this fashion without the use of money. That is expressly forbidden. It is foretold that she establishes a temple that is designed after the prophecy to honor all religious beliefs, creating unity out of the chaos of religion. Now, she is said to establish herself in judgment, but she goes to prison and serves out a term without aid. once she has done this, has served her time, she publishes peace. Now, at the time when she establishes herself in judgment, her God puts into power the basest of men, whose job it is to undermine the hypocritical society that she lives in, therefore setting the stage for her appearance, so that by the time she shows up, her society is in a moment of chaos, and her people are ready to rise up to overthrow the government that oppresses them. At that moment, she appears and she publishes peace. She tells her people, no, do not commit acts of violence in the name of your future. If you want a peaceful society to live on, you have to base its beginnings on a peaceful start. So she advocates, as is required in prophecy, to follow in the footsteps of her mentor, Moses, who led his people to freedom. When he separated them, when they did the exodus out of Egypt, she is instructed to do the same. She is instructed to let them draw forth the curtains of her habitation and erect her tent, her dwelling place, for this prophetic event when her people gathered together in protest of the unlawful oppression that they suffer from, in regard specifically to the death of a man who is killed by having his face ground into the cement, who is George Floyd, by the way. And at this time, she advocates not for a violent uprising as the basis of man has done, but she advocates for a peaceful camp-out strike where she and her people will walk away from their jobs in protest of the war on drugs that oppresses them and the economic burdens of the non-drug users who are too poor to afford to survive in a society that is heartless and cruel. And at this moment, she says, okay, we're just going to walk away. We're going to go camping. And because we have been instructed to do so, we will hold a solemn assembly when the time is right. And we will call forth our God who has set this whole thing up. And God will come to earth. Their spaceships will land, and they will walk among us. And together, we will prove in judgment that we have been oppressed wrongfully, and that we deserve retribution, restitution for the damages that have been done to us as a people. And in exchange, as in judgment, we are given the mountains as a new homeland. And these mountains are particularly in the middle of the territory occupied by the nation that they dwell in, so that they are literally surrounded on all sides, or almost all sides, by the government that has oppressed them, setting the stage for future events. Now, overlaying this entire time frame is a pandemic, a consumption decreed which overlays the entire earth and which makes empty the streets and makes everybody go back to their homelands and which disrupts society completely. COVID-19. So, the stage is set. Trump leaves office in the morning. When he leaves office, he will lose his power base because he only has the fringe media and the core of his white supremacist followers who will even bother with him. And he's done. His power, which was given to him by the Grey, is being taken away from him by the Grey. He is a telepath. He was anciently a Grey himself, according to prophecy. But he was punished for his treatment of humanity and his wish to destroy them. So he was forced to become one of us. And now he has lost all of the knowledge that he once had. And it's too late for him to even regain that power. He's done. But now there is a vacuum that I am said to step into because I am the one that has fulfilled all of these stipulations of prophecy. I established myself in a court of law concerning the sale of marijuana in the Temple of Zion in 2015, May 25th, 2015, to be exact. A month later, Donald Trump announced that he would be running for president. I went to prison. I set out my term. I finalized the Book of Zion, wrote the Pot Smoker's Bible, and as I finished the Pot Smoker's Bible, the pandemic struck. And a month after I had started publishing peace in the form of the Pot Smoker's Bible YouTube channel, George Floyd was killed on the anniversary of my court appearance, May 25th. And he is part of the prophecy. How dare you grind the faces of the poor, saith the Lord. And so now here we are. On 420, I propose that we walk away from society. We take all the money that we have and we buy all the supplies that we're going to need to sustain us as long as it takes for COVID-19 to be eradicated within our camp, so that we can hold our solemn assembly and have the Grey come land. And when the Grey come land, then we will have our prophetic day in court, when we will charge the United States government and all other governments who perpetrated the war on drugs with acts against humanity. And the prophecy will play out as foretold. The Grey will come, and they will lead us into a much better future. So, may the Grey watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. May they teach you right from wrong, and may you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light, the unicorn way. Find your joy and pursue it, and make that your guild choice when we get to camp. It'll make you happy. Stay happy and high. If you use drugs, you have every right and reason to. Believe me, I know. I wrote 2 books about it. My name is Zion. I am the Zion of the Most High God of Israel, as foretold in the prophecy of the Old Testament. And I love you way too much to ever say goodbye, so I'm going to say later now.